Just going to show you a quick few benefits of the small coil over the standard coil. Now, apart from getting into tight spaces, separating better, stability, there is a lot of good aspects to have a small coil in your arsenal. Big coil's great, small coil for in real places where lots of targets around, awkward to get the coil in, things like a stubble and so on. You really need a winkle down low to that soil. Sometimes your big coil just can't do it. So I'll go over a few little benefits here show you a few benefits here of why the small coil is a great asset to have in your arsenal. So first up, we have a big old bolty thing here. I don't mean that in the sense of a curry, but just a big old rusty old bolt thing. I'm going to stick that there, and I'm going to place the object just there so I get it right every time. Right, but first off, I want to make sure that that's completely low toning. So on the Vista X, we're at that number there at the moment. I said that's a big old bolt, so we're going to go over it and we're still high toning. So we're going to increase that a little bit. Won't have to go too much. Bit more. Now in the real world, you'll be working around this target. As you can hear, we're getting better. A smidge more, and that should cover us for a complete low tone. Now doing my book. Right then. So we place this little small button just there. So we know the distance is apart. So let's go over this now. No, dog, you can't go out. Good boy, go on. Dog wants to go out and sunbathe. Right then, so let's go over it now. So if you winkle it, you can't really get it. I mean, like I said, that is a big old bolt, completely corroded, a nasty bit of iron. And we're running a very high disc to get rid of that. So let's do the same with the small coil, the little 5.7 inch coil. All right, so it's the same old rusty bolt. And the disc is the exact same place as it was before. And now we've got the small coil attached. Right, let's see if we can lower that a bit and get away with a bit more. Let's go actually right the way down and work our way up. Take up to the red, see where we go from there. A smidge more. That'll do for me there. Right, so we'll put that button exactly on the same spot. Now listen to the difference, okay? So we've been able to lower the disc, and now the result we get is and there you go. And that is one key feature, is getting this coil into all the right places, using it right, and you'll be absolutely fine. It's a great asset to have. When you're out in the field, you can bung like this something in a rucksack. Maybe if you want another stem, but it's not essential to have. But just the actual coil itself, throw in a rucksack, and when you come across mass iron, it's time to swap over from that coil to this coil. It really does come in handy to have a small coil out with you when you're detecting. Just another example here. We got rusty iron, multiple directions, nice big chunky bit there, bit of iron below, and we do more or less the same again. So even increase that disc a little bit more. Take it back up to the red, where most people would use. Right, let's place the coin in. So we got coin, we got rust above and level, and see what we get now. As you can see, it winkles out them items around iron. Now I'm just going to show you a little depth test in the air. So a little cut quarter. As you can see, it's in inches. Nice solid signal. And you can have this machine with this coil one virtually flat out. That's what I was running the other day in the field, and it's still nice and stable. So we got virtually 5 inches on a little cut quarter. Have a little gold coin. Looking about 8 inches. And where's the big coin gone? Big coin. Looking about 11 to 12 inches. Now, for a little 5.7 inch coil, of sturdy build, in which it is sturdy build, it feels nice and solid. You don't feel flimsy, cheap or anything. So that's a pretty good air result.